instrumentals back to back for you that time. One entitled The Rosie from Jersey, followed up by the Hoppin' Polka.
Reading, Pennsylvania.
One entitled The $2 Polka. We're going to feature our clarinet and sax guy on the next vocal. Special treat as he only gets to sing one song.
Let him out of the cage.
So pay attention closely at the fine stylings of Mr. David Piaczek on vocals. We're going to do one entitled The Flisa Krakowia Polka.
I want to say a quick hi to Jerome Mackey out there in McAdoo, Pennsylvania. Paula Kurankevich out there in Reading, Pennsylvania. And John Subchick, who's also watching this Facebook Live with us here from down in Florida. Hope you weathered that storm down there, John.
I said it's next to
pretty
ugly
scenes out there that I saw on the Weather Channel and some of the other weather networks
featuring
the Florida area.
On the vocal. We
got a band here called Old School. They're doing the welcome party for the 55th annual IPA Convention and Polka Fest.
behind the vocals, one entitled The Flisa Krakovia. Slow it down for the last time this evening, as this afternoon's events are coming to a close. We want to thank the IPA for having us. Hope you enjoyed the welcome party for this year's convention and festival. I want to slow it down and feature Kelly on this next oberek, one entitled In the Afternoon.
And yes, John, this is an incredible sounding group. You don't hear much about them, but when they get together, they're musicians that play with various other bands, from Polka Family to Polka Country Musicians and The Boys and Lenny Gomulka. It's called Old School. And
we'll set this next tune out for Wayne and for Anna, and also for my good buddy Jenny Belanda out there.
And the guy on the drums, Dave Walter, and that's his wife Kelly on the keyboard there, and she's going to be singing the next tune.
Oh, featuring Kelly on this tune, one entitled In the Afternoon, oberek.
Got a lot more great music coming up this evening, so those of you that are watching and joining us right now, it's only going to get wilder.
Featuring Kelly that time on an oberek, one entitled In the Afternoon, obereczka.
Boy, I want to say hi to one of our
Slow it down just
regular
a little bit further
viewers
and do a
here
nice
on
pretty waltz for you
Facebook
right
Live.
now. Featuring Frank once
Joe
again.
Machelak.
This one's entitled Zosha, Don't Be Afraid.
North of the Buffalo, New York area. Joe, it's always great seeing you online and joining us. And we got Old School here playing the welcome party to the 55th annual IPA convention and Polka Fest. And there's going to be a lot more surprises coming up. And if you can't catch us live, we're going to be doing a lot of Facebook live streaming over the course of the next 3 days. You never know who's going to show up playing and who might be filling in with a band. And it's going to be wild. That's all I can say. And Marlene Ojewski, glad to see you're on board joining us here. I believe you're from the Western Pennsylvania area, if I'm not mistaken. And we're here at the Doubletree Hotel in Cranberry Township for the IPA's 55th anniversary. Also want to say hi to Stanley Comenda, watching Mets Stanley a couple of weeks back in Everson, Pennsylvania. Stanley, great to see you on board here at the IPA convention and Polka Fest. Enjoy the live feed and come back for the other live feeds throughout the course of the rest of the weekend.
Sasha, don't be afraid of the birds.
want to say hi out there. Sandy Lewandowski watching with us here from Lancaster, New York, or Lancaster, I believe is the way they pronounce it up there. Sandy, it's great seeing you online. We spoke earlier with Matt, and it's quite the event here. It's our first time for me and Jerry. We looking outside the box and hitting up some venues that we normally would have never had gone before.
We're going to do another tune for you. We've got time for enough, probably for time enough for about 2-3 tunes.
Then you all need to go take a nap, so you're ready for tonight.
We're going to do one entitled The Polish Wedding Polka. Time for about 2 more tunes. We're going to feature Kelly on one more before we close things out for the evening.
And David.
We're going to do one titled Polka Music Polka. Here we go, Polka Music Polka.
Yeah, nice hair.
Ready? classic polka. Thank you. Well, we see by the old clock on the wall, we got time enough to do one more tune for you this afternoon. Before we do that, we would like to introduce all the members of Old School. On my far left, your far right, is Mrs. Kelly Walter on the keyboards and vocals all afternoon. And right next to her on concertina needs no introduction, Mr. Johnny Mikos from Chicago Push and also from Old School. Standing right next to that man is a Polka Hall of Famer on bass and vocals, Mr. Frankie Liszka. And on your left, my right, we have joining us this afternoon with his musical talents, always a pleasure, Mr. Richie Kois on trumpet and vocals. And on your far left, Mr. Dave Piacek on vocals and clarinet and sax. I'm Dave Walter, and we are Old School from Cleveland. We hope you enjoyed our Postaro Kreisky music all afternoon because we enjoyed playing for you. We're going to finish this tune out with one entitled She Wants Me Polka. We had a special request to do this tune one more time. We'll play one more time for you fine folks. You've been such a great, enthusiastic crowd all afternoon just getting going at the IPA here. So we're going to do one entitled the Jolly Playboy Polka, Wesołe Lekobacz.
All right.
Nobody used the dance floor. Oh, wait a second. There isn't one.
Looks like we got one more here.
Bye, girls.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
And that be old school. And the fun is just getting going and the party's just getting started. And stick around with us tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, and we'll even be on a boat on Monday. So just keep an eye out for the two Jerrys, Jerry Sr. and Jerry Jr. And we hope to bring you a lot of the great entertainment if you're unable to make it out this way. If you are in the area and you want to hear some great live music, there's going to be a lot of great bands, and starting with tonight. And if you got a computer and you're on the internet and you take a look at the IPA, and you will see all the listing of all the music and all the bands that are going to be here. It's a great assortment. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and if you missed any portion of any of the Facebook Live that I did or Jerry Soloata, just go back and watch it from the beginning. Have a great one.